Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Hello, and welcome to the porch on what is a sunny but very, very cold Sunday afternoon. Hello, it is now 2:14 Eastern Time on Sunday, February the 8th. Super Bowl Sunday, LX. That's which one is today. Just in case you're keeping up with the Super Bowl festivities, the F-22s that were set to fly over the Super Bowl have been pulled for an emergency operation. That's all the information I have on that just yet, but they have been pulled from the flyover for operational duties. Seems to me if they're pulling the F-22s from the Super Bowl, something bigger is going on. I got a question that's been bothering me for about a week now. Savannah Guthrie has been on NBC for about 12, 13 years, to 14 maybe. Why is it that NBC's not giving any coverage of her mother's kidnapping and that it's all going to Fox? Why is Fox the go-to information source for the mother of an NBC anchor? Does that strike anybody else as just weird? There's a lot of things I don't like about this. Random ransom notes coming in from random places. $6 million ransom for no proof of life. Police were at the daughter Annie's house for 3.5 hours. They're still at Nancy's house today. They're taking lots of pictures. There's a drone over the house. There's live coverage on Fox News. Nothing from NBC. All NBC's talking about is Lindsey Vonn crashing and burning a third time with her ACL and laying on the Alps and crying. I didn't know Lindsay was trying to be the birdie, but I hope that she recovers quickly and feels better soon. I know at 43 years old, I wouldn't even attempt to walk out to get the mail when it's icy, let alone get on a pair of skis, but may she have a speedy recovery. I saw her last trip and fall, and I was like, skiing's kind of a young man's game. I went accidentally skiing in a pair of Crocs the other day and banged my head on the door in the bathroom. I can't imagine trying to do it at 70 miles an hour with things strapped to your feet while you're on national television. But again, NBC alerted me of every detail of that injury, but they haven't mentioned a word about Nancy Guthrie. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to me that Savannah in 2019 was the first news journalist to report on the Epstein debacle, and then COVID happened, and nobody ever talked about it again for like 7 years. And now that the files are loose, Savannah's mom's missing. It's math is mathing today, and a lot of people ain't doing the 1 + 1. And I'm like, when I saw that Life Touch was on Epstein's checkbook registry, and I'm like, Life Touch, you know, the people that took our school pictures for the last 30 years. Thinking maybe they weren't yearbooks. I'm thinking maybe they were catalogs. And I'm starting to think that maybe the pictures on the milk cartons weren't missing children, but maybe they're just the kid of the week. And now, can we talk about the fact that 15, 16, 17 years after the fact that Michael Jackson is dead? Turns out he was right. Turns out he was exactly right. Turns out that he was building Neverland, saving children, and wasn't a pedophile. Turns out he was right. Turns out that we didn't ostracize him. No, we didn't martyr him. We pariahed him. We ruined his life's work on the accusation that he touched little boys when God knows he did not. Ain't that funny that that's in the files? Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny that it's probably going to come out soon that Princess Di was trying to alert everybody of all the scandals and the pedophilia and the royal family, and then dead? Ain't it funny that Roseanne Barr's been telling us this shit for 15 years and they kicked her off her own TV show and threatened her life and called her crazy? Ain't that weird? Ain't it weird that Jim Carrey's been telling us about this for 17 years and every time he goes on a talk show they make him sound like a crazy man and they've ostracized him from Hollywood? Ain't that weird? Anymore, I'm beginning to think that the Antichrist isn't one person. Many will come in Jesus' name. I think it's a movement. I think that the dividing lines have been drawn. I think the Grammys are now participation trophies in a political tirade. I believe that talent won't get you in the door as fast as money will. I believe that networking is more important than net worth. And I do believe that all the people that we have said, isn't that a shame they killed themselves, probably didn't. Makes you wonder about Anthony Bourdain, don't it? Makes you wonder about Prince. But if anybody's keeping track with the conspiracy actualists this week, so-called Jeff Epstein has been spotted in Tel Aviv, Israel. They said it was just a homeless man, but I don't know any homeless man that needs 9 bodyguards. That seems weird. And he looked a lot like him. I mean, he looked more like Andrew Jackson. His hair's grown out and he's got a beard now. But it could be him. It could be him. I mean, they've already told us that Joe Biden was supposedly done away with in 2019 and that we've had a stand-in actor for the past 7 years. You know, what do I know? What do I know? Oh, we'll give a big hats off to Homan, who has finally come to an agreement with every jail in Minnesota that says, hand over your violent, illegal immigrants, and we'll get rid of them for you. You would think this would be easy. Are you harboring and abetting a fugitive? Are you helping them? Do you know where some are? I know that y'all are going to turn this around on me and be like, well, the same thing happened during COVID. Well, no, it didn't. You were turning American citizens and tattling on your neighbors for getting together and going to church. We're trying to keep the raccoons off the porch. It's 2 different babies here. And here's something that nobody's talking about. Everybody's pissed off at P. Diddy and Kevin Spacey, Bill Clinton, Chris Tucker. You know, the whole Epstein list. You think that those people were out here snatching your kids off the street? You think it was them? You think that Epstein took time off of his island to get on a plane and go to some BFE place and snatch 5 or 6 youngins off the street? Seems like he'd have too many things to do, and he'd probably delegate that. I'm thinking that Mariska Hargitay has been telling us about this in every SVU episode that we've seen for the last 15 years, that sometimes it's the counselor, sometimes it's the jail, sometimes it's the judge, sometimes it's the relative, sometimes it's the lawyer, sometimes it's the CPS, sometimes it's the Department of Human Services, sometimes it's the people supposed to be protecting our youngins that are handing them right over. Y'all are all worried. Everybody's being called sheep right now. Don't be a sheep. Don't be a sheep. Watch out for the wolves. Yeah, watch out for the wolves, but you know who ends up eating the sheep? The damn shepherd. God, sometimes it's just plain as day in front of y'all, and y'all are like, well, it could mean something else. Get to looking at Britney Spears a little harder. How crazy they made her out to be. Just, something ain't sitting right in my spirit. But the fact of the matter is, there ain't a thing I can do about the past, but there might be something I can do about the future. And as Minnie Bell Ward said in the first day of the last decade of the entire 20th century episode of Designing Women, we ain't what we was. We ain't what we're going to be. And we probably ain't what we should be. But the way she said it was so incredibly powerful, and I'm going to try to get it right. She said, you know, her papa was a preacher. And I know this was a TV character, but they based it on real people. She was 99 years old, had outlived everybody she'd ever known, and she was fixing to die on New Year's Eve. She's standing there with her entire cast, and they're playing Somewhere Out There, and she said, I've outlived everybody I've ever known, and I cannot wait to get home and see my children. She said, and I keep praying that the world goes in the direction of hope, in the direction of peace, in the direction of love. She said, you know, we ain't what we're supposed to be, and we ain't what we're going to be, but at least we ain't what we was. And as bad as I butchered that the first time, the message still rings true. As long as we make some progress, it's like Ira Dean always told me, if you take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, that's still a step in the right direction. You know, progress is progress, whether it's by inches or miles. But at the same time, we can't tear each other down this close to the finish line and go, well, I don't like how they're doing it. Well, I don't like how they're doing it. I believe that they're lying. I believe that she's corrupt. I believe that blah, 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 blah. What else you believe in? What other faith you got out there besides believing everything that you read on Facebook, TikTok, and X? You got faith in anything else that you don't see on the 3-inch screen? On a Sunday? On the Lord's Day? Do you have faith in anything else besides what you're being fed? So, just asking. You're putting a lot of faith in false prophets. You're taking people's word that haven't proven themselves to be a verifiable source. You're following a lot of wolves when you should be looking at the shepherd. That's all I'm saying. We're in dangerous times right now. I don't know whether not to watch the TV or stop drinking water, stop eating, grow my own food, run away, get off the grid. I know that I'm praying nonstop these days. I know that the Lord wakes me up bright and early every morning to talk to Him because that's usually the only time that I'll listen. I know that my spirit's stirring. I know that I'm praying for Candace Owens. I'm praying for Jelly Roll. I'm praying for Jim Carrey. I'm praying for the leaders of our country. I'm praying for the people to open their eyes. I'm praying for the Lord to come back swiftly. What's your faith in? And I know a lot of Bible-beating, God-fearing Christians want to get on here and judge me for smoking a cigarette and talking about the Lord, but I consider myself a feral Christian. I think I'm doing a whole lot more damage out here on the highways and the hedges than being in a church on Sunday morning. If I'm there, the devil knows where I'm at, what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, and how I'm going to do it. If I'm out here doing it on my porch with a pack of cigarettes, he ain't prepared for that, is he? Seems to me that the Lord took his 12 buddies and just went out and preached in the highways and the hedges himself. I don't remember him spending a lot of time in the Lord's house unless he was there to mess some stuff up, tell them what they was doing wrong, or flip some tables. But again, I'm a country music singer. What do I know? It's time we all got back to God a little bit. I'm worried that we're too busy minding everybody else's taters that we ain't paying attention to the weeds in our own garden. This ain't Farmville anymore. You don't have to clear anybody else's carrots. Mind your own garden. And pray for the leaders. Pray for the people in charge. Pray for the people that are on the street trying to get stuff done. Pray for the people that are trying to get out there in the highways and the hedges and give out food and water to the people that actually need it. Pray for the people that are in harm's way. Pray for the people that are being ostracized, criticized, and wrongly accused for the things that other people have done with a lot of money. Pray. It's the only thing they can't take from you or censor. Pray. But it's all going to come to light, and of course this is speculation, but you watch. They plan Charlie's murder. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? He's got a foot in every single campus in the United States and across about 100 countries in the world. It's a lot of influence. It's a lot of people to reach when you've got a message. And having been in the music business for a long time, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Sarah, I'm going to make you a star. Sarah, I'm going to make you the biggest thing since Carrie Underwood. Sarah, I'm going to put you on the Opry stage. Sarah, we're going to make you a millionaire. What's the catch? What's the catch? How hard am I going to have to scratch your back? What's the catch? And if you want to know what my answer was, I'm still sitting on a porch in West Virginia talking to you fine folks. That was my answer. I don't play the game. I never have fit in. I didn't fit in school. I didn't fit in college. I didn't fit in Nashville. I didn't fit in Fort Polk. I didn't fit in at Fort Knox. I didn't fit in Texas. I didn't fit in Italy. I don't fit in. You know why? Because I was born to stand out. I was queen size from the moment that I came into this world on the 13th day of August in 1983, and I've been apologizing for my presence ever since, but no more. They gave everybody else a microphone in 15 minutes when they got nothing to say but hear the rocks rattle around inside their head. I'm well read. I have 3 degrees, and I know what the hell I'm saying. You might not like the way I'm saying it, but by God, it's still true. I don't want to fit in. I want to stand out. I want to make you uncomfortable. I want you to look over your shoulder. I want you to worry that everywhere you go, I might know exactly what's going on and write a song about it. I want you to worry. Because if you're not part of the solution, you're definitely part of the problem. Either back me or back the fuck off of me. That's kind of where I am right now. But for the life of me, I can't understand how you can go and sit in church for 2 hours on Sunday morning and then judge somebody before you get out of the parking lot. I can't understand how you're going to quote scripture that you see on your cell phone, but you've never actually cracked the spine of the book. I don't understand how you're talking about authors that you've never met that saw Jesus face to face, and you don't know the author of the book. Wake up. It's not about understanding anymore. It's about overstanding. If you understand anything about the English literature, or you have a dictionary, or you have a smartphone, look that word up. Overstand. It's having a greater perception of what's actually going on. Overstanding is I'm planning an entire Thanksgiving dinner. You're in charge of yams. Do you understand? You see what I'm saying? I think sometimes we traded our conscience for etiquette. We started justifying sin by normalizing it. We started renaming things that way it didn't make everybody feel so uncomfortable. We stopped calling things what they were. You can still put a bow tie on a pig. It's still a pig. And I know I'm usually really fun and sassy and carrying on, but I'm telling you what, the world is evil today, and we need to do something about it. Now that we can all sit here and wring our hands and wonder, Lord, what do we do? And please come back soon. And I hope it don't happen to me. Or you can be the change that you wish to see in the world. And I'm not talking about grabbing your Dollar General poster board and wrapping it up in your Carhartt and going out and protesting the lawmen that are standing on the street in Minneapolis. No. No. I'm talking about if you see somebody on the side of the road that needs some help with a flat tire, pull over. I'm saying if you see a man sitting in a wheelchair and he's freezing to death and it's 9 degrees outside and you've got 9 coats in the back of your car and an extra blanket, give one away. I'm saying if you see a pregnant waitress down here at the Shoney's and she's having a hard time making rent, throw her an extra 5. Charity starts with you. We can't all fix the world at the highest levels that we should, but we can start at home. You can weed your own garden before you start giving out gardening tips there, Martha Stewart. That's all I'm saying. So, amen. I saw that. Everybody says get back in church. Listen, you're gonna have to serve somebody. It's in the Bible. You can't serve 2 masters. You're gonna have to serve somebody. What are you serving? You serving the continental breakfast? You serving sanctuous coffee down there at Holy Grounds? Are you serving actual mercy? Are you serving actual salvation? Are you serving the Lord Almighty? Are you trying to be a Christian or are you trying to be Christ-like? Because there's a big old difference. I don't want to be like a Christian. Christians are hateful and racist and judgy and keeping up with the Joneses. In my experience of 27 years of being a music minister and been in just about every church between here and the buckle of the Bible Belt in Louisiana, there's snakes in every church. It's brick and mortar. That's where you have to have the spirit of discernment. That's where you have to serve the Lord. It's going to come back to you. So, if I were to meet my maker today, there's probably some things that I'm going to have to answer for. There's probably some things that I could probably explain away with a good joke. But the Lord knows my heart, even though my mouth is like this. The Lord knows that I get up every day and try my best, and I thank Him every single day for the blessings that He's given to me, including these loud-ass birds, the dogs that tear everything up, and snow that's 7 inches deep on everything. Because I always have believed, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'd rather be wrong and do this than be proven another way. But I always have lived by the belief that if you don't thank God for it today, you might not have it tomorrow. And wouldn't it be a shame that if you woke up tomorrow and you didn't have the things that you forgot to thank God for yesterday? God loves you right where you are, but He loves you too much to keep you where you are. Do you understand that? He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants to talk to you like a friend. He wants to talk to you like a father. He wants to talk to you just like you talk to whoever on the telephone every day. He wants that relationship with you. You can talk to Him in the car. You can talk to Him in the shower. You can talk to Him at bed. You can talk to Him in the living room. You can talk to Him at the kitchen table. You literally can talk to Him anywhere you want to. It's kind of amazing to know that even without any cell phone service, you can get a hold of somebody, ain't it? And you don't have to check off this big list of sanctimonious, ceremonial things that you have to do in order to talk to God. This ain't a multi-level marketing scheme here. God's for everybody. And once you truly know the love of God and you know the Spirit of God and you know the plan of God that He has for your life, everything else kind of falls away. And when you ask God to call your friendship circles to come into your life to remove the dead weight, be prepared. He will come in with a hacksaw and get rid of things that you never thought would ever depart you. Be aware of what the Lord's putting in your path and be aware of what He's taking out. So, in the news, we're still worried about Nancy Guthrie. Can't for the life of me figure out why all these children and people go missing every single day of the week, but we've devoted 10 days of our time and money to this when the network that hires her won't even debut the broadcast. But, what do I know? It all just seems a little cut and dry to me. And if you have, 15, 20 hours to just throw away, dig around in the Epstein DOJ. It'll make your stomach turn, but it's things that you need to know because they've been lying to us for years. And if you think that Epstein was the first one to have this brilliant idea, you need to read a history book. If you think that Epstein is the be-all, end-all devil that they've painted him to be in the news, he ain't the first. He ain't going to be the last. He got caught. So therefore, we're going to make an example of him. But don't think that this was a novel idea that he just concocted in that tiny little brain of his. Evil has been around since there was a serpent in the garden trying to get somebody to take another Apple product without reading the terms and conditions. History is wrought with these moments. However, we've just got a big surplus of them in the past 15, 20 years. We all found out COVID was a sham. Nobody did a thing about it. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody got in trouble. We found out that 9/11 was under our own watch. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody got in trouble. Nobody did anything about it. We found out that we're killing celebrities because they're opening their mouth and talking about the powers that be. Nobody's saying a word about it. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's changing. When's it going to be enough that we finally go, I don't think this is right. I don't think this, you keep using that word and I don't think it means what you think it means. Accountability has got to become a priority. It has to. We can't keep passing the buck because I don't know if you know this or not, but the world is round and that buck's going to come back. So, take some accountability for your actions. Try to do good unto one another. And if you don't have nothing to hide, then you don't have nothing to hide. The Lord still knows what you're doing, whether your neighbors do or not. So, anyway, it is Super Bowl Sunday. I won't be partaking in it. Somebody asked me if I was going to cheer for either team, and I was like, not really. I mean, out of the both of them, I probably cheer for the Seahawks just because I like birds. But that's really as much as I know about anything. I just think it's weird that on the original poster from September the 4th, when they were announcing the trek to the Super Bowl, they put two players from the Seahawks and the Patriots right up next to the Lombardi Trophy and opposed to everybody else. And those teams have like an 8-6 split, and they're not really the top in their league either way. But that, I think it's really funny when you see a lot of these athletes crying on the field after a loss. It's not because they lost. It's because they figured out that they're not an athlete, that they're a paid actor. The world ain't what it's supposed to be. And it sure ain't as hell what you post it to be. Just something to think about. But, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord in sweet tea. That's what we do. I'm going to get off here. And, matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all about this, but there's going to be something coming out about it later. The show that we have on February the 20th, Friday the February the 20th at Bobby G's in Huntington, West Virginia. Starting, if you've bought tickets for it, you're in the drawing, but we're going to make an announcement about it this afternoon, probably tomorrow morning at the latest. I'm going to give away a guitar. I got to putting away my stuff the other day, and I ain't got enough room. So I'm going to give away one of my guitars. So if you buy a ticket for the show, you're entered to win that guitar. So if you want to come to the show in Huntington, let me know. It's a nice guitar. Pretty soon. I just don't got no more room for them. And I'd rather it go to somebody that wants it than me to just be like, well, it's going to sit in a box. So, anyway, we'll do that later on this evening. But in the meantime, get on SarahBethTerry.com. Check it out. We have all kinds of stuff on there. Merchandise, show dates, videos, whatever. My life's an open Facebook pretty much. If you want to know anything, just ask me. But, I think it's funny. A lot of people assume that they know stuff. They're like, well, Sarah did this, Sarah did. Well, hell, I might have. And if I hadn't, hell, I'll put it on my list. I'm at the age now where I own my choices and I own my decisions and I take full accountability for them. If I didn't do it, you can bet your ass that I'm going to defend myself. But for the most part, I live unapologetically without any regrets. I mean what I say what I mean. And if you like me, great. And if you don't, then kick rocks, because it really doesn't affect me either way. But in the meantime, I love you guys, and I mean that. Keep your Bibles open and your powder dry and your head on a swivel, because people are acting crazy. Keep your eye on things today. I just have a really uneasy feeling in my spirit, and I feel like we all should just kind of get right with Jesus and clean our houses. In the meantime, if you have a warm coat or blanket, make sure you keep it with you in case you see somebody in need. Be nice to old people, animals, and children. As always, friends, please remember, and perhaps the most important of all, I'm Sarah Beth Terry. You're not. Bye.